Next up in the weekly vlog. Morning friends, it is the next day and I am up bright and early to lead the 6 a.m. club for Accepted Society. We've got 9 people in the room from all over the world. We've got some people that are staying up really late in the US, some that it's the afternoon in the Philippines or in Hong Kong, and we also have those of us that are in Europe or in the UK. So it is a very expansive group of researchers. Everybody's like either working on class assignments or dissertations, and I am actually doing a bit of admin. I should be working on my dissertation, but I have been finding that actually the morning times in the winter I'm finding it really difficult to write. So I'm actually putting a block of time in the middle of the working day because I am now starting work earlier because I tend to have to meet with Ali first thing in the morning, and because he's in Hong Kong, I need to be up quite early for our 8 a.m. check-in, and I need to do about an hour of prep every time we have a meeting. So I try to get up around 6:30 so that way I have a solid hour and a half to get ready. I don't have a meeting with him today, but when I do, it is helpful to be up early. Because of that, I've just been kind of wiring my brain to jump into a bit of admin mode first thing in the morning. And I don't know whether I would say that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it means that I am jumping into work and getting a few things ticked off the to-do list, and then I take a bit of a longer break in the middle of the day. So today that's going to look like doing the 6 a.m. club to get some stuff done for work, and then probably going to ride around 9. Then today I have pretty much back-to-back meetings, but I should have an hour gap between the productivity lab meeting and the ops meeting. So that's when I'll be working on the dissertation. Yesterday I got to the yard and jumped into work. Went for a really nice ride on Boo. I feel very rusty. In the evening I went out with Ellie to the pub and just got to hang out with some of her and her friends. I socialized a lot yesterday by comparison to what I normally do. And I got like 3 pages into my book that I'm reading, then fell asleep. I'm currently reading Metal Slinger. I can't remember the name of the author. The book is in the bedroom, but I'll talk about it a little bit later. It's a book that Emmy has recommended, and all of her recommendations never let me down. So I finished Blood Over Brighthaven on the way here yesterday, and it's a 6-star read. It's it is not just one of the best of the year, it is the best book of the year. I feel like I want to write a blog post about it or something, but we don't got time for that. All of our writing energy needs to go towards the dissertation. So I am gonna go ahead and make up my plan for the day. I have my golden coil planner where I'm just writing up my priorities for the day and anything else I need to tick off the to-do list. I need to review some content that my assistant Claudia put together. It's gonna be a good day. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. I hope you're having a wonderful day yourself, and let's get back into it. you saw, it is the most beautiful winter wonderland outside. However, the sun is coming up and some of the snow is melting, and I want to get out and get some clips of the horses and go say hi to Eve and Louis, the baby horses, before I have to start work for the day. I'm just gonna throw on my coat and head out to the field. It's just so beautiful. I can't stop looking outside. It looks like a snow globe. I know it's really distracting while I was trying to run the study session. I'm so excited. Let's get outside. Woohoo! It's so magical, but it's so cold. And Moo is wanting to go back inside. I'm so glad that I finally bought proper winter gloves. It only took, living in the Northeast for 3 years and moving to England to finally get me to buy some winter wear. But now it's time to go make some breakfast and a warm cup of tea and get the day started and dive into work for Productivity Lab. It is just it's so beautiful. I'm feeling kind of chatty today, so this vlog is going to be a mix of beautiful cinematic B-roll, but a lot of me yapping. So I haven't been to the barn in about a month, maybe more, and it feels so good to be back. But one of the reasons I haven't been back is because I was meant to do a bunch of travel for work. The plan slightly changed, and there was just some personal stuff. It's just been a little all over the place the last couple of weeks, but as you probably saw in the vlog that I posted last week, which I don't know, in sequence when this video got posted, that video I was very obviously feeling burnt out. My mental health was really suffering, and it was just a difficult week. I really appreciate the comments and whatnot, and I'm glad that those of you that are also having a difficult time found some kind of connection or resonance in that video. And I just want to talk a little bit about what I'm doing to get out of that kind of burnout state and find ways to balance things. And one thing that I did recognize was that I was not actively setting boundaries around work and actually making time for the things that really matter. I think I was putting a band-aid on it. So I was still making time to work out. I was still making time to read. I was still making time to see friends. But for example, I wasn't making time to come out to ride and to be at the barn. And it just has such a net positive impact on my mood and my mental state and my emotional state. Just being out here and waking up this morning and seeing the snow falling and going and saying hi to the horses. Like, it's not even about riding, it's just being around them is something that just feels so soothing to me in a way that nothing else does. My partner and I have been really considering moving out of London and looking at moving a bit further north. And the more time I spend out in the countryside, the more I feel like that's the direction that I would like to head in. And we've talked about it a lot, and I've been putting my ducks in a row. I just feel so much better than I was a couple of weeks ago. And I think that that is partially because I have been really conscious of making time for the things that really matter to me. And right now that's my dissertation, and doing things that make me feel connected. So for example, spending time with friends and making time to be out at the yard. And I really love my job and I'm trying really hard at my job, but I think sometimes the workaholic tendency, the side of my brain that, you know, seeks that kind of professional growth and validation takes over. Anytime I get into that mode, I kind of feel like I lose myself in it. And I'm trying to find a way to have a really strong balance where I'm doing good at my work and I feel like I am contributing positively, but I'm not letting it dominate everything because it feels like an immediately pressing matter and that there are a lot of people that are counting on me. I also need to find the balance so that way I can show up to work, you know, happy and energized. And I just feel like I haven't been for the past couple of weeks because I've just been failing to actually align with my values and the things that are really important to me. That is all to say that I just think it's a constant journey to figure out how to balance everything. And so right now I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like. And it's just a constant adaptation, like I said in the consistency video. So I have had such a good morning. I have my breakfast. I'm gonna watch Sarah Fisher's vlog while I make up my plan for the day. I haven't done my journaling exercise yet. I wanna do a prompt, and then we're gonna dive in to productivity lab stuff. Allie and I finished the outline for the new course last week, and I need to get the slides and other assets developed so that way he can film ideally next week. That is priority number one. I also have a training that I am leading tomorrow for the students of the Part-Time YouTuber Academy. I'm doing a workshop on vlogging, creating personal brands and things of that nature. So I need to do a little prep for that. And then I probably will go for a ride in the afternoon because it's still snowing. And I'm assuming that the snow will turn to rain soon. I don't really want to ride when it's actively raining, personally. I don't have the most waterproof gear. That is one thing I need to acquire. And it is cold. It is so cold. But it looks like it'll clear up a little bit this afternoon, but we'll see. But thank you for listening to me rant. I'm gonna eat my breakfast, make up a plan, and execute it. Just finished my ride for the day. I had such a good lesson with my trainer. I haven't, as I said, been to the barn very much recently, so haven't had much consistency, but we had a really good lesson and just got to work through some of my own kinks, some of the places where, you know, Boo is a young horse, so he tests me a little bit, and it worked really well. And I am really pleased with how things are coming along, especially because I haven't been very consistent. It's really difficult really wanting to set riding goals and really wanting to make it more of a priority, but just knowing that this isn't currently the season of life and the circumstances under which I can make it a priority. It gives me something to look forward to. I know that when I finish the PhD, one thing I'm really going to prioritize is riding again and competing, and hopefully, potentially, if I can manage the financial side of it, eventually having my own horse again. I've just never gotten to have a horse long term. I've had horses that were essentially given to me that I paid the bills on and I trained, and they ended up selling. And many times I was very lucky that they actually sold much quicker than is standard in the industry. It's really hard to sell horses, especially young horses. I really just want to have one that will be with me long term. Now it is time to jump into some meetings, and I have some work that I need to do for Productivity Lab. As I said, I'm kind of working on the slides and the assets and that kind of stuff. I really want to get at least the slides drafted by tomorrow when I have to meet with Allie, kind of take things from there. But it's been a really good day so far. I'm glad that I got to have a little bit of a brain break to go and ride and spend some time with Boo. And it's also just so beautiful outside, even though it's really cold. When I'm riding, I'm obviously like a bit bundled up. I had my coat and you know, I have my breeches. My breeches are a bit thin, but when you're riding, like your face and your nose get so cold. So I feel a little like congested now after having been outside and then coming into the warmth. It's just so chilly and beautiful, and it reminds me of the movie The Holiday. It's one of my favorite Christmas films, even though it's really cheesy, and it just feels really nice after a bit of a spell of depression and just feeling kind of burnt out to just find joy in the little things, and especially in nature. That's one thing I'm really missing, you know, living in London, is that we live, especially the area in London that we are, it's very urban. And I didn't realize how much being around and in nature makes a big difference for me. Being out here and seeing the changing seasons, seeing the beautiful like changing leaves and then the snow, it just makes me feel so light. I don't know how else to describe it. It just feels really like relieving in some way, and it just feels really nice to be out here. And I'm just so grateful that I have this place to come to every once in a while. And though I don't get to come as much as I would like, it just makes such a big difference when I do. But it's my little reflection on riding today. I will be here tomorrow, and I'll get to ride Thursday morning before I have to head back. So I have a few more days of just being able to breathe. It just feels really nice. I don't really have time to make some food right now or shower, so I'm going to jump into some meetings, give myself a quick snack, and then I'll probably shower, change, and do the rest of my admin in a little bit. Hello, the working day is now done. I feel like I'm just really struggling to actually get a whole lot done at the moment. Partially, I think it's not having my monitor and not having the kind of focused workspace. Secondly, I'm just awaiting a lot of feedback on things, so I just don't feel like I can make big deliberate moves without approval. But it's been a really good day. I posted a vlog that was filmed, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago, and I got so many hate comments on it. People being annoyed with my voice or how I talk, how I say the word and. One that just made me laugh was somebody saying that I've become so generic because I make productivity content, and that ever since I started my job, I just am a copycat of everybody else, which I find funny because basically I started my YouTube channel in a way to show what the PhD life and, you know, grad school life was like from the way that other study tubers that were in college were vlogging. So it's not like my content has been original at any point, but it's my take on the subject, and it's my perspective and, you know, my unique experience, I suppose. Yes, I make productivity content similar to Ali, but it's just similar in the title. Like, we make very different structured content. We talk about very different things. I just find it funny that somebody would think I would take offense to them saying, oh, well, your content like draws from so many other people on your team and, you know, other people online. Yeah, that's how this works. And every once in a while I will go through the filtered comments. Sometimes I will have my partner actually go through them and tell me if there's anything that's constructive that I need to address, or if it's just a silly hate comment. And I didn't today. I looked through them myself. It's sometimes just not for you. It's just not for you. Like, if you don't like my content and you don't like the way I talk, that's okay. It's fair enough. We all have our preferences. Then maybe I'm not for you. I don't know. Now that I've been on YouTube for a long time, I used to be really afraid of things like hate comments and people not liking me or whatever. And I just want to post what I want to post, and I want to make content that I enjoy. That means that I talk about productivity, it means I talk about books, and if that's generic, then that's generic. I guess my threshold for it has just changed, and the need to please everyone has changed. And that's kind of liberating, and it's very difficult because that's not something I would have felt comfortable doing like 2 years ago. Sometimes basic things are good. Sometimes basic things are fun. Like, just because it's popular doesn't mean it's bad. And the same way that just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good. Sometimes basic stuff is fun, like reading romantasy novels or, I don't know, making productivity content. But anyway, it's just something that's on my mind. I was just thinking about it because I saw the comments, but it's been a good day. I am gonna go ahead and call it a night. I'm going to read Metal Slinger by Rachel Snyder. It looks like a book I could probably get through quite easily because I think it's only like, it's like 450 pages. But I've been really enjoying reading a lot of fantasy recently. I feel like I go through waves, and I was going through like a historical fiction wave, and then I feel like I was having a bit of a reading slump for a while, and now with all the holiday book releases, I'm back in my fantasy and romantasy reading era, I suppose. But I'm gonna go read, and then I'll see you all tomorrow. Good morning, hello friends. I don't know that I've ever enjoyed an outfit as much as this one. I gotta show you. I have rust-colored breeches. Now, if you are not an equestrian, you might not understand the lore of the rust-colored breech, but back in the old hunter days in America, the hunter riders would wear rust-colored breeches. And I never had a pair because I'm terrified of color. And if you watch my content at all, then you know that I pretty much just exist in neutrals. But they're so cute. And they're from Palm. If you are an equestrian and you want them, I'll put them in the link below. It's not an affiliate link. I'm not gonna get any money from it. But if you want the link, it's gonna be there. So they're so cute. They're also so comfortable. They're the same brand that I wore yesterday. And then I have on I think this is from the Modern Horse shirt and Banana Republic sweater, Holland Cooper belt, socks from I don't remember where. I got up this morning. I actually got up at 6 and started working, had my meeting with Allie, and then did my little stretch because I am so sore from riding the last couple of days. But I'm gonna head down to the yard. I'm gonna have a little jump school on Boo. Probably won't get any footage because I don't have my camera that can do that, and it's also freezing outside. So it's like 2 degrees. There's frost over everything. It's so beautiful, and I'm gonna go for a ride. A couple of hours later, it is about 15 minutes until my workshop for P2IA. I am leading a workshop on vlogging and digital storytelling, and it's gonna end in a bit of a Q&A. So I'm really excited, but I'm also really nervous. I really love giving presentations. I really love public speaking, but sometimes I find it really intimidating because this is a topic that I have talked organically about, but I've never presented a training before. I'm just a little bit nervous. But I just got my PhD completion plan video back and just made some minor edits so that way it can go live later this week, which I'm really happy about. I don't know if you guys can hear that fan, but my computer sounds like it's struggling. But I had a really good ride on Boo. He was a little bit fresh today because it's very cold, and just had a really good lesson working on some of the basics. I just feel like coming back into the sport, I get a little bit in my head, and because he's a young horse, I just want to make sure that he has a good experience and that I'm asking him the right things. Came back, had some really good meetings, and just feel like I'm finally finding my step again. I have not taken a break to work on the dissertation today, so I'm going to work on it after work. And as I said in the PhD completion plan video, which would have gone up before this one thing that I'm struggling with sitting down and trying to write the dissertation at the moment is that I just don't have the primary sources, and I'm heading to the archive next week. I booked out a trip to the National Archives over in Richmond. That gives me like a bit of a North Star to focus on, and I've ordered a couple of documents. I'm focusing primarily on some of the parish records and apprenticeship contracts that it seems like they don't really have the stuff for London. I'm thinking that they're probably at the London Metropolitan Archives. However, the London Metropolitan Archives for some reason are like kind of difficult to navigate. Just been trying to figure all of that out. But it's been a very good and productive day. I am very sore and very tired. My back really starts to kill me when I come out to the barn, especially because I'm sitting in these chairs and it's not ideal. I wish I had my office chair here, but anywho, going to go do my training. I'm hoping it goes well, and then I'm going to do a little bit of dissertation work, and then I'm going to spend the evening reading my book. I really want to dig further into the Metal Slinger and get a sizable chunk of it read, hopefully. So that's my plan for the evening. It's really nice being at the barn because it just feels like I get so much done. Because whenever I'm home, the only thing I want to do is hang out with London Boy, which is wonderful, and I'm glad that I want to do that. But it means that I'm not nearly as focused on things as I would like sometimes. So anywho, I'm gonna go ahead to my training. I'm gonna switch over to my Ally of Dal account, and I hope it goes well. Yeah, so it varies. Sometimes I'll just pick up the camera on the Monday and I'm just like, okay, pick your own adventure, let's see how this goes. And there are other times where there's like a specific thing that I want to do, and it's an idea that I bounce off of my friends, or is based on commentary from my audience. For example, I did a vlog where like I time blocked my entire week and I just talked about how that went, and I showed the process over time. So sometimes there is a specific thing that I want to do, or a specific theme that I'm trying to hit on, but I would say most of my vlogs, because right now, to be fair, right now I have a lot on my plate. I have a full-time job, PhD, I own a business, and so I don't give as much kind of brain space to my YouTube channel and strategy as I did maybe a year or 2 years ago, in which case, if you actually go back to my channel like a year and a half, 2 years ago, you can see the strategy was very different, where I was really thinking about SEO. I was really thinking about how it is that I could grow, in which case I probably spent
Cutie. Lucifer. He's such a good dog. Yep.
Hello, good morning. It is now Thursday, and I got up at my usual like 6 a.m. did a bit of work, and now it is time to get dressed. I still have a little bit more work to do, but I'm gonna ride around 11, so figured I would pick out what I'm gonna wear. It is freezing outside. So I know that I want to wear my thermal base layer from Holland Cooper. You can see here. Do we do gray or do we do brown? Brown? This is really annoying because I feel like I'm talking to you directly, but you can't actually give me answers. I think we're gonna go with gray. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and change and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, breeches are on. These are from Palm, and as I said, this is the Holland Cooper thermal base layer, so it's really thick. I'm sorry, I had to like bend down so much. I propped you on a dresser, but yet I'm very tall, so I have to come down to you. Okay, belt, socks, vest, and I'm definitely gonna need a massive puffer jacket for today. Here's the belt, also from Holland Cooper. It's got brown leather and this like knitted navy material. Okay, perfect. That's set. Okay, now socks. You know how people will joke about selling photos of your feet on the internet? Well, I got a random message from somebody that told me to show more of my feet in my videos. So don't mind as I bend down to hide my feet, which I didn't think was going to need to be a thing as a content creator, but apparently it is. And we'll put on a vest for today. This is also from Holland Cooper. I love this vest so much. It's so warm. It's just got this really beautiful leather trim on it. What do you think, Pooch? What do you think? Silly girl. Okay, well, I got dressed to ride, but I'm not riding for a couple of hours. I just wanted to not be in leggings anymore. Today is going to be a bit of a struggle because I am so sore. I usually would get sore specifically on my legs, like your butt and your inner thighs hurt usually. But right now, the only thing that's really hurting is my mid back, like right here. I have obnoxious chronic back pain and it's always made worse when I don't ride for a while and then I come back to it and all of the muscles are just not happy. But I'm gonna fold up my clothes, put things away so things are nice and neat, and take you along for the day. We have to head back to London this afternoon because London Boy's cousin is coming to visit us and he's staying the night, and so we're gonna take him out to dinner. Hi Pooch, are you gonna be nice to him? What do you think? He's just a good Pooch. Yes. Okay, I'll stop making you bear witness to my obsession with my dog. I'm supposed to be getting work done, but Pooch, what do you want? Do you wanna go for a walk? Do you wanna go to the field? Do. I guess we're going for a walk. In fairness, I have been up since 6 doing work stuff, so we can take a little break and go for a walk. Yeah? You wanna go for a walk? I had to put on my riding boots to go outside because I don't have any nice warm winter boots. You need a sweater. You can't go outside like that. You'll freeze. It'll be so cold. Come on, Pooch. We are now outside. It is very frosty. The snow is essentially gone, but there's a lot of frost on the ground. And we're waiting a little while for it to warm up to go in the ring because it's made the footing quite hard. But I've got all the pooches, all the dogs following, and we're heading down to the field, take a nice little walk and say hello to the babies, which you can kind of see right there. We've got Louie and Eve, and they just got weaned. Oh my goodness, she just snickered at me. Evie! Hi guys. Good morning. Eve is very interested in Moo. This little bay boy, this is Louie. He's very timid, as you can see. It took me a really long time to get him to let me pet him. But he's got his winter coat on, but it looks like he has goggles. Hi, baby. Good boy. He's so sweet. He's so kind-natured. Aren't you? Good boy. And then we have Eve over there, who's very spicy and demanding. Yeah, you know what you want, don't you? You sweet girl. She's very pushy. And so she pushes Louie around. But it's time to get back to work. But it was nice to take a break and say hi to the baby. Hello, it is now the next day. I am back from the yard, got back yesterday and did a bit of work when I got back. Today is another working day. I have a full afternoon of meetings, but we're doing some Vlogmas planning. So I finally hired an editor after all of these years, and they've been so insanely helpful, which means that I have a bit more capacity to actually do Vlogmas this year. I am, however, going to pre-film certain videos, and so I had asked on Instagram what people wanted to see, and what I'm going to do is make a bit of a plan for what needs to be pre-filmed, because I basically have a week to get all that stuff set up. So I'm very excited. We're going to be doing part vlog, part sit down videos. I think I'll probably do more like chatty get ready with me things, because the point of Vlogmas is just, to put out a video like every day or every other day. I'm going to attempt to put out a video every day until Christmas Eve. We'll see if I actually stick with it. There has never been a time in my entire time on YouTube that I have actually been capable of sticking with Vlogmas. So we're going to try it. I did not even attempt Vlogmas last year, and I'm just curious how it'll be, since I have an editor and I just have a little bit more, I don't have more capacity. What am I talking about? I was gonna say I have more capacity. I have more capacity insofar as I don't have to edit the videos every single day. So I'm gonna do a little bit of planning. I have my notebook. I got this from Scriptum in Oxford, and this has become kind of like my commonplace book. And it has these inserts with a leather sleeve, which is excellent because then I don't feel like I'm constantly wasting notebooks and material, and it's also much smaller and more portable than my golden coil. So I've been using this for journaling, just doing some kind of ideation and things of that nature. So I've got all of these different like mind maps, and then I've got my journal entries and things of that nature. And I'm gonna use it to map out my Vlogmas plan. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna dive into a series of meetings, take you along for what has actually been a full week in the life, because I normally am really bad about filming every day, but I have actually done it this week. So I feel like it's a new record. Let's make a plan. So we have a bit of a plan now. We have 23 videos mapped out, and I've gone ahead and highlighted the ones that I think I can pre-film. So I have how to start a YouTube channel, because people keep asking for that. I have an academic gift guide. That was a recommendation from Instagram. By the way, if you don't follow my Instagram, you probably should. Mostly because that is where I ask for recommendations and I interact like day to day with my online community. The third is a formula for when you're feeling stuck. I have how I landed a job in tech with a humanities degree, my budget and loan repayment plan as a 29-year-old, and then I have a life update and how to make time for everything. I have quite a few videos that I can pre-film over the next couple of days, so that way I can get it over to my editor. This is gonna be fun. It has a range of things like reading. We've got some cozy vlogs. A lot of people wanted me to do more holiday stuff out in London, and you guys are in luck because I have a day out planned with my friend Mina. We're gonna go to Hampton Court and go ice skating. so I can include that. Let's see. Some people wanted more horse related content, so I've got horse riding vlog coming. People wanted more business related content, so I have some stuff related to, you know, my job in product management. I also have starting a new business. I have a couple of things that I want to launch in 2025, so I figured I would share a little bit more of the process in one of the vlogs. I feel like I have a pretty solid plan. Now I have to go ahead and work it into the calendar so that way I can execute it. I also have my daily planner, and what I'm going to do is actually mark the days where I need to be filming, because it's all good and well to have a plan, but if you don't actually make time for it, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a little bit of a plan, and then I have my calls in about 15 minutes, so I'll be jumping into quite a bit of work after my break, and I'm really excited. I haven't done Vlogmas in earnest in 2 years. The first time I really gave it a go was the first year of my PhD, I think. I remember Katie and I tried it, and I think we both gave up after 10 days. So we'll see what we can get up to this time, especially if I can pre-film stuff. All right, it is the end of the week, the end of the working day, and it is time for the weekend, which means plenty of time to read. I'm going to be filming the first day of Vlogmas tomorrow. Technically, it's not December 1st, but I am pre-filming a few of the vlogs just to add a little bit of cushion for the days that I don't vlog, especially while I'm traveling to California and such. I am going to continue reading Metal Slinger. This is by Rachel Snyder. I am about 100 pages in. I'm hearing mixed reviews. So when I first got on Book Talk and heard about this book, Emmy recommended it. She said it was God tier, one of the best. Basically everything I've heard was this is the greatest new independent release, etc. And then I saw one of my other favorite booktubers, Carrie, make a video. And she really did not like this book. She really didn't like the writing. And in fairness, I don't think the writing is the best, but I also don't have very high expectations for writing quality when it comes to specifically romantasy and independent published romantasy, just because I know it doesn't experience the same kind of editing that a traditionally published book would. I'm enjoying it personally. I think it's a little predictable, so I'm curious because everybody says that the last 2 chapters are wild, and so I'm assuming that that's not predictable. But I'm gonna keep reading this. I'm hoping that I can finish it this weekend and post a little review. I've been making more random book content just because it's been something I've been really loving this year. So much so that I got a message today from a publishing house saying that they wanted to send me an advanced reader copy. So I feel like I've made it. I feel like I don't have anything specifically concrete to show for my time on YouTube, which is not correct, because I have many videos and I've done really cool brand collaborations and I've had really incredible opportunities, but being sent a book feels next level. So anywho, that is the end of today's vlog. I hope that you enjoyed coming along for a nice, cozy, wintry vlog, primarily in the English countryside, and that you're excited for Vlogmas. If you want to stick around, then remember to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you're notified every time I post. I have a lot of content planned in December and I'm very excited for it. And if you have any recommendations for things that you want to see during Vlogmas, please comment them down below. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next vlog. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.